Pancake Monday!
This episode was actually recorded in September. There's reasons why this episode did not come out in September and why it's coming out in late October. The reason for that is there were lots of tech issues. It is going to look a little different. It is going to sound a little different. Please bear with us. It will not continue to happen. I wanted to give you guys a heads up because whether you're listening or watching, you may realize that things are being referenced that may not have been said, may not have made the pod. It wasn't because we didn't want them in there. It was simply because due to tech issues, they just don't exist. All right? And so that's it.
Now back to your regularly scheduled program.
And I'd like to introduce this pod properly.
Okay.
You know what I mean? September's here. This is our September episode. And part of the reason I started this podcast was to give men a platform, right? That's what we said.
Yeah. See?
And so I want to give a man a platform.
My God. That was so well orchestrated. I swear to God. Shout out to my guy.
And for those who don't know, this is brand new Days the Emperor. Wine Pan Gal.
Why you my best Shaggy. Nice. Well, appreciate you. Check that out. Big Labor Day vibes. Been getting a lot of good feedback. Shout out to the DJs that's playing it. Shout out to Jay. Appreciate you, my guy.
Alright. That's all y'all get for free.
That's
It's
all they
in your
get.
phone.
That's it.
It's in your phone right now. It's on your Apples, your Spotify's, your titles. It's everywhere. It's on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? It's a cool guy. I don't know if y'all know him, but he happens to also be on this platform, and his name is Days the Emperor. And let me turn off my speakers now. And now we can properly get this podcast started, okay?
Big up.
That's right. You know what I'm saying? Right. Lick all the shots. You know what I'm saying? Maybe even lick something else while you play that. I don't know. I don't know what you do. You feel what I'm saying? I don't know what you do, listeners, viewers, watchers. You feel what I'm
They
saying?
went from licking shots to licking that.
Hey, I don't know what else they want to lick. We don't kink shame here. You feel what I'm saying?
Yo, son, I
don't
ain't
know,
say lick
son.
my nigga. I said,
Yeah,
why
listen.
my nigga?
I don't know. Maybe after you whine, you lick. I don't know. It gets crazy. I don't know. I don't know what happens next on the record. They gotta go listen to it. You feel what I'm saying?
Yo, son,
That's the only way to know what happens.
Son. Y'all wildin' right now.
Son, that's how you got started. You know what I'm saying? All right. Now that that's out the way, now that we've given a man a platform, let's talk about some other things. You're welcome, brother. And so, hold on. Somebody else up here got something coming up. Should we talk about it, Tez, or is that not allowed?
Nah, you can talk about it.
All right. See, look, we're going to give another man a platform. I can't play a song for him. You know, he ain't got no theme music yet. We working on it. But, you know what I'm saying? But Tez, our good friend Tez here, he has been, is it a Twitch associate? Is that the right way to say it?
No, it's a Twitch affiliate.
Talk to him. You tell him, son. Talk your shit. Let them know, son.
Well, by the time this is showcased already, it would already have happened. But
that's right.
On September 13th, I am celebrating my 5-year anniversary as a Twitch affiliate. In that time, I've had a great time, great run, a lot of growth, and so I'll be having it.
That's right. Let's have some official.
If you tune in, I may have had a 12-hour stream. We'll see.
That's right. And if you didn't tune in, I was about to say he pods every Tuesday. Excuse me. He streams every Tuesday. Let them know, son. Don't front on yourself. Let them know where you stream at, son.
Stream every Tuesday. We got our third pay-per-view coming up. Guilty as Charged. Shout out to good old ECW.
Let's go.
Nice. We get the card stacked, and we're gonna whip out some new surprises. So hope you guys are there. That is twitch.tv/Cortez.
There you go. Say it one more time in case they didn't hear you.
Twitch.tv/Cortez. CORETEZ.
There you go. Even gave you a sexy voice one time. You know what I'm saying?
I thought it was me.
Nah, he
man.
hit him with it. You know what I'm
They
saying?
swallowed an R&B song
Right.
or some
Yeah.
shit.
I always said if I was ever in Boyz II Men, I want to be that guy who
With
just
the
talks.
deep
That's
voice.
It. That's
Listen,
it. He don't
Uh-huh.
sing.
Listen, every great R&B record got at least one dude saying some random thing with a deep ass voice.
He's the moist
Yeah,
maker.
nigga,
Just
That's it.
Just
He's
come
the-
out of nowhere. You'd be like, "Who the fuck was
We need
that?"
caption.
Just-
We need
You know what I'm
caption
saying?
to understand.
That's
Who
it.
was that? Where did
The
that
sub-
voice? Was that God? Who was?
The subwoofer just goes on 100. So he just,
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I think that started way back though. I don't hear that too much anymore. We got to bring the deep voice dude back.
Yeah,
Nah,
we
know what I'm
do.
saying?
We
nah,
do.
the
Giving
the
advice too, though. Remember, they was giving him, come on, you know better than that girl.
the,
That's
the,
right.
Why you
the
keep
deep
going
voice.
back to him? He don't appreciate you.
Right.
Sadly, the sad thing about the guy with the deep voice in Boyz II Men, I think he has throat cancer. He doesn't tour with him anymore.
No, for real?
Oh, that's sad. That
Oh,
maybe he
damn.
could do like Beanie though. Beanie Siegel said he's gonna use AI. He's gonna record his songs and then use AI to make it sound like back in the days.
Oh, that's
Word.
fire.
We spoke
That's
about
cool,
it on
but-
Let's Have
but
a Real Conversation
Oh,
podcast.
don't-
that's
I-
fire.
I don't mind Beanie's
That's
voice as it
fire.
is.
But he don't feel the same.
I do.
I saw him live. Nah, it's different. I saw Beanie Siegel live, and it's very different. It's
Oh,
almost like
man.
you've seen the movie Hoodlum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
He sounds
Whispers.
like whispers. Yeah, he sounds
Mhm.
like whispers. When
So
he's
quick-
performing, that's how it's coming across. Because
But
he's
be-
trying to deliver it, and he's like, "I told niggas go to the door." It's like, wait, what? What? He got it. Actually, he had to keep saying at Roots Picnic, "Yo, put my mic up. Yo, put my mic up," because his voice, he can't really project the same.
It could be that he just doesn't have the same lung capacity anymore. So
Well,
that's
that's what
why.
I'm saying. It could be a mix of both. Because
That-
even
So
if
he's
you
gonna
see
record
interviews,
with
he
the
don't sound
AI
exactly
on?
the same.
He gonna record
That's what he
with
said
the
he wants
AI
to do.
on
Yeah,
in his voice setting. That's fire. That's see.
Yeah.
Remember we were saying that, Dre, before Jay came in. We was talking about like how some people focus on certain areas, the pros and the cons of things. We was talking about that, and people might have their opinions about AI, but you just saying that about beings. I think that's dope. Like you see, I got
Yeah.
thrilled about that because I would love to hear him the way he sounds, like originally. I would love to hear that.
Yeah. Yeah, we named our last episode after him. Well, by the time this comes out, several episodes ago. But there's a episode called Beanie.
No doubt.
Anyway, we've introduced half of the pod. We've given them platforms. Let's introduce the other cool cats that are on this podcast. And since one has his mouth full, I'll give him a moment. I am JD, aka He Who Pods, and y'all already know I got Days with me. Y'all already know I got Tez with me. I also have Dre with me. Say what up, Dre.
What up, Dre?
There you go. You know what I'm saying? So I had a feeling that one was coming.
Well, you know.
That
And
was
for those
funny.
who don't know
Classics.
by now, classic. And for those who don't know by now, this is the Man Cave Monday podcast, and we're here yet again. Unfortunately, there's a lot of schedule changes going on for all of us, and so I want to first start by saying thank you to the fellas that are here and were able to work with
Yes.
me to make it happen, because there's a lot of schedule changes going on. Dex will not be here this month or next month. We're hoping to have him back in November, and I'm trying to figure out a way to still incorporate Ness with his schedule change. I don't know what's going to happen. I will keep you all posted. So, I want to start serious and then kind of get to the funnies later, since we started off fun and light. Let's get a little deep, and then at the end, we'll have a little silly time if we have time left. And so, I want to talk about fears. Fears, scaries, the Sunday scaries, right? We all have fears. A lot of times people don't express those fears for many reasons.
Mm.
And so I wanted to discuss fears. You don't have to, if there's one that you feel you don't want to share, obviously, you can keep that for you. We always talk about how part of podcasting is keeping some things for ourselves and some things we're willing to give to the audience. And so I thought about that because I recently wrote a song that kind of incorporates this topic. And I said, I wonder what some of the guys, what some of their fears are and what fears they're willing to express. And so for me, I'll start. For me, one of my biggest fears used to be failure. And I realized at one point, failure is really based on perception. Because what you may consider a failure, someone else may view and say, man, this guy is killing it. You may feel like, well, if I didn't sell 100 CDs outside of the venue, I mean, nobody sells CDs today. But just for example, you might feel like, hey, I didn't sell 100 CDs outside the venue after my show. I'm a failure. Somebody else might look at you and say, "Yo, I saw this guy sell like 65 CDs. He was killing it." And so I realized, man, sometimes failure is really about perception. I also realized that failure is really not the end of the story. If you're smart and if you persevere, failure is really a lesson because you learned, man, I didn't sell 100, but I know how I could sell 65. Maybe I could look at some of the things I did and kind of review them internally and see how can I do better next time. And so today, some of my fears are a little different. One of my fears today is not being present as a parent. And this system makes it very easy for men not to be present. And for me, that's a big fear. I want to make sure that I'm doing the best I can, whatever that is. And so, yeah, this system makes it hard to be present. And for me, those things have changed. Like what being present means has changed as my child has grown. Really, for me, what trumps everything as a fear is really not accomplishing anything, right? I feel like a lot of us are really nothing in the greater scheme of things, but I never want to feel like I'm completely nothing, right? It's like, how do I put it into words without quoting the song? I don't want to, well, I'll just quote the song. The song I say, I may be nothing, but I never want to be a disgrace. And so to me, one of my biggest fears today is like not living up to my potential, right? Not showing up when I need to in different ways, right? Maybe that means as a friend for the men on this podcast. Maybe that means I'm not providing for my family the way I should be. It could mean anything, right? And so to me, one of my biggest fears is like, I just don't want to be an ain't shit nigga, for lack of a better term. And to be clear, that's in my eyes, not in anybody here's eyes, not in any of the listeners or viewers' eyes. It's to me, right? I want to be in a position where I can look back at my life and say, hey, I was able to accomplish things. I was able to do things. And I didn't amount to zero, nothing. Yeah, so to me, that's my biggest fear, right? There are others, but I think for me, the overarching theme is I want to be a successful guy. I want to get things done. I want to look back in my life and say, man, I really put effort out. And so, as I say in the song, I might be nothing, but I never want to be a disgrace. And that for me is a challenge within itself, going a little deeper, because we are often our biggest critics, and I can be very hard on myself, as everybody here knows. And so I am the guy who's like, damn, I can't believe I didn't sell 100 CDs. Even when y'all are like, son, but 99 though, 99 is the flyest. I'm like, yeah, but really I was trying to hit that 100 though. And so that's one of my biggest challenges today. Like I said, being a parent is a little more challenging because the things going on change. And so being present in one way today versus last week or 2 years ago, or when she was 2 years old, is very different. But I think those are my two biggest fears. And probably my third one is, it kind of ties in, is like, I don't want to let any of the people down who are there for me. You feel what I'm saying? A lot of the people who are in my inner circle, they're there for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to be the guy that anybody in my inner circle feels like I can't rely on Jay. I can't depend on Jay. I want to make sure I'm showing up, whatever that is. If that's, hey, I really need to vent. Can you come? Can you just give me a few minutes to vent? Yeah, I want to be able to do that. Or if that's, yo, I need to move tomorrow. Please come help me move tomorrow. All right, I want to be there to help you move tomorrow. You feel what I'm saying? And so those are some of my fears. Obviously, I'm not going to give the podcast and the public every fear I have, but I feel like those are some that I'm willing to share. And yeah, and if we can have an open dialogue. If y'all want to discuss anybody's fears or ask questions, that's cool too. I'm always open to that. But yeah, I was curious, what do you guys fear? Everyone doesn't write music on this podcast. Everyone doesn't express things the same way. And even though me and Days and Dex do music, we don't all express things the same way, or the way we express it may not be the same. Me and Days have been on plenty of songs together where we're tackling the same subject a totally different way. And so, yeah, that's the question. anybody could go. If y'all have questions, I'm open to questions as well.
I'll go since nobody else seems to be stepping up.
Jumping. I know this was not gonna be. Yeah, I knew this was not gonna be everybody's favorite topic, but I was curious. So
Yeah. So me, I'm Sensei Dre. I fear no one.
Real quick,
And I live Shogun. What's up?
Oh, I like that. Also, I want to say this because I don't want it to seem like I'm just curious and that's what dictates the topics. I also feel like men have there's this public image that men are fearless, right?
Yep.
And so let's be real, that's not the case. So I feel like discussing some of our fears kind of brings that down, and men are also human. I think today in society, and we had spoke about this before, there's this facade about men, and it's a multi-layered one, right? And so
Yes.
I want the people to understand there's a lot of things that make a man. It's not just pay the bills and provide for your family. Men have feelings too. Men have feelings too. Men have fears too, regardless of how you feel about them, regardless if you share them or not. But I think we have this thing in this stigma almost in society where it's like, oh, you can't be scared. Why would you be scared? Men are fearless. Men fear nothing. Oh, but that's not true. There's plenty of stuff we fear. If some people fear spiders that are men, that don't mean they're not a man. It just means they have an arachnophobia. That's fine.
Right.
Plenty of people have these different fears. And so I'm speaking about some deep ones. Y'all don't have to speak about deep ones. These are the ones I'm willing to share. If you're scared of snakes, then you could come up here and say, yo, I'm scared of snakes. That's fine. But that's why another reason why I brought it. I don't want it to seem like if Jay's curious, we got to discuss something, because that's not always the case. So go ahead, Dre. I'm sorry for cutting you off.
That's all good. Yeah, man. But I agree with all that. Everything you just said, man, is absolutely true. In this society, men are not allowed to be vulnerable. And if they are, it's in a really limited way. But yeah, as I was saying, joking around, Sensei Dre, fear no one, live Shogun. You know what I mean? But yeah. I mean, honestly, I don't really have fears for a lot of things. I'm kind of this like rogue dude, but there is one fear that I have. I mean, I may have a bunch of, if I sat down with a therapist or something, I'm sure a lot more would come out. But there is one that is on the surface, that is always there, that I know is there, and that is, I fear law enforcement. And I have all the data to back up why I have this fear. Because
that's
law enforcement kills people who look like me. They see me as the bad guy. When someone says I want to be a police officer because I want to, lock up the bad guy, or I want to get the bad guy, in their mind, they're thinking about somebody who looks like me or other people in this virtual room, if you will. You know what I'm saying? So that's usually my biggest fear. Like when I step out the house, I'm not thinking about, oh, this person might rob me, or this person might, take my sneakers. I don't know what's going on right now. You know what I'm saying? But whatever.
Right.
But so I really don't have that. My issue is always like, am I going to get pulled over? Is this person going to like stop me? That is like my biggest fear, honestly. And for all the obvious reasons that probably came to y'all head as soon as I said it, right? It's like, yo, like y'all, for number one, y'all have guns. Y'all take them out whenever. And y'all make a lot of mistakes. And usually these mistakes wound up with one of us being killed. If I say the wrong thing, if I look the wrong way, I mean, just to mention one case in particular that has haunted me and still, has disturbed me. But when it happened, I was just like messed up. It's the case of Bolton John. For those of you who don't remember, Bolton John was this young black brother, probably in his early to mid 30s, 33, 30. I don't even think he was 35 yet. But Bolton John was the worked for a major accounting firm in the U.S. The best of us, I like to say. He went to college, and he went to church every Sunday. He prayed to white Jesus. He had all these white friends, and
Right.
Just did everything right. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Right.
no sort of blemishes. You know what I'm saying? He was successful. Well, he's home in his apartment, school, everything, did everything that they say you're supposed to do, to be successful. And he watching the game. I believe either he was like maybe having some food, some ice cream, something like that. He may have had a little bit of weed. I'm not sure. But he's at his place watching a basketball game, and a young police officer, thinking that his apartment was her apartment.
Allegedly.
Right, allegedly, but this is what she said in the court documents, because it went to trial and everything.
Amber Geiger is who you're talking about.
There you go.
And
Amber
he
Geiger.
was 26.
Man, look at not even 30.
I just looked it up. Yeah,
not even
26.
30. So thank you for that, brother. I appreciate you. You fast
Got your
on
back.
You fast on the
You know what I mean?
phone
Fastest
situation.
thumbs in the
Fast
east.
on
You know what I'm
fast on
saying?
the thumbs, bro. No, but honestly,
I mean-
it really hurt me, man, because it's like this dude was the best of us. You know what I mean? Like, he's home, minding his business, watching the game, didn't do anything to anybody. She comes home from work, thinking his apartment is her apartment, bangs through the door, and doesn't assess anything. Just believes you're in my apartment. You shouldn't be here. I have a right to kill you. Takes out her gun and pops him twice.
Yep.
And he's gone. So I always felt before that case, man, if I can just make it home, I'll be safe. Right? It's like I'm walking these streets, anything can happen. But if I make it home, though,
Right.
whew, I'm safe. I'm home. I'm
good,
in my,
right.
I'm in my four walls. I'm good. Nothing can happen to me here. Wrong.
Right.
Wrong. She just proved that no, you can be in your house, and even though you're in your house, that's a false sense of security. Motherfuckers could still come in and accidentally ice you. So
Yep.
I have that fear, bro. I have that fear. I don't know if somebody gonna walk through my door thinking, oh, what? This 2D? Oh, I thought it was 3D. Sorry, you dead now. You know what I mean? Like, yo, it's
Right.
fucked up. So that's my number one fear of everything, is the fear of law enforcement, because they come in with guns blazing and they don't see us as people. And
Right.
because they don't see us as people, they see us as being expendable, and thus we end up with short lives. So,
Yep.
I'll
And
pass
Amber
it.
Geiger, just for those who don't know,
yeah.
she was sentenced to 10 years for that murder,
Mm-hmm.
which 10 years ain't shit. And she tried
That's
to
a
appeal
fact.
it, but it was upheld. So she is still serving, according to the Googles here.
10 years.
She's
Right.
still serving.
Yeah, she might
Well,
get a
yeah,
reduced
What
sentence
you,
if
what
she,
you sentenced and what you serve are often different.
good
right?
behavior
I'm
and
gonna
all
keep
that
this
bullshit.
close in
Right.
case we need it again. But yeah,
Right.
but absolutely valid point. He was where he was supposed to be, and I said on my solo pod when it happened, yo, fuck her. Like, I don't understand. I mean, actually, maybe I didn't have a solo pod. Whatever. I still feel like fuck her, because that's why I said allegedly as soon as you said it. I don't believe she walked in the wrong apartment. I've never confused my apartment with someone else's.
That's
Even
a
when I
fact.
lived in a multi-unit. I never went to the left instead of the right, or to
Nigga
the
said
right instead of the
drunk
left.
as
I
fuck.
ain't gonna- yo, I'll be
high
honest
in the
with you.
light bill. Nah.
I'll be honest with you.
Nah.
I have. I had
But
many.
fam, even in that moment, my key shouldn't open your door.
No,
That's a fact.
here's the thing.
Her key
For
opened
whatever
his door.
reason, his door
His door was
wasn't
adjacent,
locked.
allegedly.
It-
Allegedly
it
his door was
adja-
open.
Right. So it wasn't locked. And I know I've done this, like, myself. I have walked 2-3 feet into somebody else's apartment thinking it's mine. I've had many a nights where it was, somewhat sponsored by Bacardi. And it's like,
Oh
yo,
shit!
this ain't the 5th floor? Oh, there were people who there were neighbors. Oh, sorry.
Right.
You know, and then even during the trial, because I watched every minute of that trial. I didn't miss one day. I watched every minute. Who, you know, got on the stand and said, hey, I make that same mistake. So what the defense was trying to do was like, hey, this is a common thing. People make this mistake. And it's like, it's true. It is a common thing. People do make that mistake. But here's what the prosecution said when they when it was their time to interview the witness. And they were just like, okay, we get that you made the mistake. Did you shoot anyone because you walked into the wrong apartment? No.
Right.
What about you?
Right.
Did you shoot anyone? No.
Right.
Okay, did you shoot anyone? Okay, so walking into the wrong apartment shouldn't be a death sentence.
Right.
It's not a death sentence. It happens sometimes. We get that. But you look around, you say, oh my God, I made a mistake or whatever. Right. You don't walk around and be like, oh, let me shoot this guy and then realize, man, this guy, not only did he come into my house, he sat here and watched TV and started eating my ice cream, and then he put pictures of his family on the walls and shit.
Right.
Like, come on, bro.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, assess.
Because it's shoot first, ask questions last.
Cops are supposed to assess before they shoot.
Yeah.
You need to supposed to take a good 2 seconds
before they press.
Assess, right, exactly. Supposed to assess. She didn't do that. She just, like you said, shot first, asked questions later. And they tend to do that with us. You know, I'm not saying it doesn't happen to other people. I don't see it on the same rate.
Scale,
you know?
right. Yeah, it's not on the same scale.
So, yeah, man. But thanks for that. Yeah, you know, that. So that's me.
I got you. That's part of my job here, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, I think we share similar fears, Jay, you know, in retrospect to the parenting and the fear of failure. You know, I think I don't want to speak for a lot of people, but, you know, if you want a road to success, you might have some concerns, you know, based on some past experiences, and they might cloud your judgment while moving forward, and it might create fear, you know. But like we spoke about on this podcast, you know, fear could also be a tool to alert you of something as well.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It may not always be a tool of deterrence in a way where it's like you should be going in this direction, but you're so afraid that you're not. You know, sometimes it might be reminding you that direction ain't the direction you should be going in.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? But yes, to piggyback your points about, you know, the fear of parenting, you know, not being able to be there in its entirety, you know, and how that may affect your child and affect, you know, the situation. That's a huge fear of mine. Also, my fear, I kind of be trying to make amends with my fears and shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't be trying to give them shit too much power.
Well, that's what we said last time, right? We said that fear, I believe if I'm correct, I quoted The Flash. I remember the quote from The Flash because I never heard anyone put it that way until I was watching the Flash TV show with my daughter, and they said fear is healthy because fear keeps you in check. The problem is we often let fear consume us, and we cannot let fear consume us. When we let fear consume us, it wins. Don't let it win. And I thought that was like, wow, I thought that was the flyest shit ever. Like, I thought that was really deep, and I was like, okay, Flash TV show, you did something right this time. And,
well, it don't go nowhere. It don't go nowhere. And the best example, fear, period. Like the best example I could give, right, when it comes to like making an amends with fear is driving. I tell people that all the time. Like, son, if I told you how many times I saw my life flash before my eyes, but I still got 20 more miles to drive, nigga, I ain't got time to pull over to the road. Give me 30 minutes. Let me pray. Let me, you know what I mean? Let me meditate. Let me, you know, fear is a part of us. You know, it's a part of our DNA in a sense. You know what I mean? Something happens, it might frighten you a little bit. So now you assess, okay, can I get through this? Can I move past this? Did it affect me in a way where I can't go on? You know, I think it's like a compass to a certain extent. You know what I mean?
That's a good analogy.
Yeah, I think it's a compass, you know, directing you in certain areas, because there's things that I was afraid of growing up that I'm not. Like I had a fear of heights. You feel me? Until I started doing construction and I'm on the 60th floor. You get what I'm saying? And my brain told me you don't got a fear of heights, you got a fear of falling. So as long as your ass don't fall to your death, you good. You feel me? And I'm saying it like that, and you know, in layman terms. But for every time I was up there, that's what I would tell myself. Like, yo, you ain't got a fear of heights, because if you did, you wouldn't be up here. Your concern is falling. Because I had to identify what that fear was, because I had to do this every day. And then when I became the safety guy and I'm hanging off the side of the building, putting wire straps so people can walk and they won't fall off the side, trust me, I was over that fear a long time ago. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm trying to think about what else kind of fears I had. Oh, one of the biggest fears. I would love to discuss that on this platform because I think people will go crazy. But I used to be stage fright. And I know people be bugging when they see me on stage now. Like, nah, son, you wildin'. Hell yeah, I was stage fright. But for me, like I said, I try to identify what it is. I'm up there. I'm like, okay, I'm stage fright. What are you afraid of? All right, I was afraid of them not feeling me, not digging me, being booed, being dismissed, nonchalant. All right, so how do you get past that? You give them something that's undeniable, that they cannot deny. They just have no choice but to feel it. You understand what I'm saying? Because you feeling it too. As long as I'm feeling it and I make sure you feel it, it's undeniable. So I was able to get past that fear, you know, but it was haunting me for a long time when I was young, you know, and even now, people don't even know. Sometimes that should still be there, but you won't know it, you know? Yeah, because there's other variables. Fear of embarrassment. Fear of something going wrong while I'm up there. You know what I mean? I remember I was at a show and a whole Winnebago, like, you know, like the production light, it fell on stage in the middle of my performance. I kept performing, right? Peep what I did. I kept performing. I ain't giving no energy. And when I was done, I said, that is the prime example of the devil trying to dim your light. But you never stop shining and you keep going. When I tell you that was it. That was it. The joke that you thought was on me now becomes the joke that you memorize because there's some advice in that. You know what I mean? There's a teachable moment in that. You know what I mean? So that's what I got to say about fear.
Sweet. All right, Tez. What you got for us, player? Snakes? Spiders? We know you're not scared of eagles.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
I mean,
I need to be scared of the Giants. Those fucking losers.
Yeah.
what Giants? You mean that
Exactly.
0-40 against the Cowgirls?
Right. Exactly. Midgets. But go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, my fears are. I mean, just. Everybody has fears, right? Everybody has. Places they don't want to be in or things they don't want to do. My greatest fears are. What I believe should be anybody's greatest fears is, one, as a parent, to be a failure to my kids in any aspect of those words, as we discussed. I want to equip my kids with the best tools possible to be leaders, to be not leaders of others, but most importantly themselves.
Yes.
I want them to realize if they're in a sticky situation, they can, do the work and get out of it, make your own situation. Obviously we want our kids to be kings and queens and rulers and owners and all that stuff. But realistically, all we can teach our kids is, look at my suffering. You see how I don't like it? Don't do my choices. And, just understand perseverance. And most importantly, the one thing I want them to learn is being humble. I want my kids to be humble for everything. Life is taken every day. You lose a little bit of life every day. And tomorrow's not granted. So with that said, you make every day as if it's your last. I'm not saying live balls to the walls, but try to make progress every day in some way, shape, or form. And it kind of connects to my next fear, where I now I went through some self-reflection the last year or so, and the one thing is just I don't want to be homeless. Like, being at the point where I have nothing to call my own is a fear. I feel for the homeless, and unfortunately that's another stem of discussion where it ties into mental health. But
yeah,
when all the cards are down, and you realize every door for you is closed, and you are now relying on literally either the generosity or the programs that are lack thereof,
Right.
to get yourself out of it. It's something that I do fear. Like, yeah, I'm 37. I don't have anything underneath my name, or I don't have a place to call home. And it's not where I want to be. Thankfully now I'm in a situation where there's growth. As long as I keep grinding and keep asserting myself to different positions in my organization, that fear cannot be could be. I'm not gonna say put away, because there's many ways of being homeless, right? You could have money in the bank,
Right.
but if Mother Nature decides to take your home away,
That's a fact.
have fun with that one.
When I worked in the shelter, I used to say that a lot because I found that there's kind of this stigma. This is an aside, but there's kind of this stigma where if you're homeless, you're fucking up.
Right.
It's your fault. And I learned, and listen, when I started working at the shelter, I was 21 years old. So I shared some of that stigma. And I was like, 99 families? Why the fuck are there 99 families in here? Like, what are they doing wrong? And I realized everyone's not doing something wrong. You never know what happened. There were people who, like you said, Mother Nature came, no longer have a house. There were people who landlord did them dirty. All these different circumstances.
Right.
And I realized like that's something that's not spotlighted enough in this country. And the higher ups know, because every state has a Department of Homeless Services with smaller not organizations, smaller departments in it, right, which contribute to the grand scheme of things. So it's not like they don't know.
I'm sorry, man, because that
Pac said in what, 95, 94, they got money for war, but won't feed the poor.
Yep. So I mean, you can go.
Earthquake in Morocco, a lot of the fires, you know what I'm saying, or California, these are people lost their lives, and even more people are homeless. Hawaii, they just had just wanted to add on to what he's saying in terms of bringing it home to what this podcast is about, because you're right, anything can make you homeless. It can happen to anybody. We just had this big times when you look at the homeless, right, a lot of them are men. And why is that? Because a lot of times men, these are billionaires who lose their home in a day. But the other thing I wanted to say was, like Jay was saying, is like, yeah, you're right. You see people in these shelters, but a lot of them don't have a place. You might have a family shelter for women and children. Very few men's shelters. I'm not saying there's zero. I'm saying there's very few compared to the other shelters.
There's a lot less.
Yes. And so there is a stigma on men that when you see a homeless man, he's even worse. Society will have, a heart for children. Society will have a heart for women. Okay, we got to take care of them.
More empathy, more sympathy.
More empathy, to be more sympathetic. But when they see a homeless man, and then we are talking men's voices, this is Man Cave. When they see a homeless man, more of that presumption of you fucked up is there. What Jay said, because he's absolutely right. You might see that home than it is for women or children. So I just wanted to add on to this man, and you don't know what happened to him. You don't know what his education level is. Yeah. And just because he happens to be a man doesn't mean he's a failure. He might have some incredible odds that no one can deal with. So that's all I wanted to say. And I'm sorry, Tez, go through.
No, it's all good. So, like, to coincide with my fear, there's a movie that I love. But to me, it's legit a horror movie, because I was kind of sort of in the same situation, and that movie is The Pursuit of Happiness.
I had a feeling.
That movie, as not only as a parent but as a father, white woman, the wife doesn't want nothing to do with you. She's out. She's on her own. She cares about herself. And I'm not saying my ex-wife was like that, just because this is a public platform. My ex-wife and I we're still a tag team, and I'm very lucky and fortunate to have that. But you never know, right? I always deal in worst case scenarios. I never deal in absolute. There's nothing in life that's absolute other than death and taxes.
Only the always deal in absolutes.
Oh, I
I'm
do.
sorry, I couldn't help it. I got a Star Wars shirt on. It was too easy.
I do enjoy the dark side.
We sips out here. You know what I mean?
That
Flex
scene.
one, you know what I mean? Let me hit him one time. Go ahead, son. Sorry. Back to you, Jim.
That scene when he's in the bathroom. That scene when he's in the bathroom just to go to sleep.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And somebody's knocking on the door. Like, talking about it now, I'm getting goosebumps just feeling it.
It's crazy.
You know, that's a nightmare. That movie's a horror movie.
I've done it, brother.
Because
I'm getting goosebumps listening to you. I've done it, but that's crazy hearing it.
That's. I mean, don't get me wrong, but make sure what doesn't kill you make you stronger. But when there's kids involved, bro, like
it's a different ballgame.
And that's gonna tie to another fear. That's you're not like. Well, that's gonna, like you said, failure is not. Failure can motivate and stuff like that. But like when you with a kid and your failure, they don't know it. That's the thing. Like, they don't know it. They're naive to the subject. But when you there and you just you do that self reflection, you're just like, fuck, how did I get here? How you I've had moments like that. When me and my ex-wife were together, it's times when it's check to check, and even that, it's check to catch up, or pay someone back, or to pay something back, or we hit that 3-month limit on rent. Like they're gonna come and knocking.
It's crazy.
Then you gotta choose food or rent.
I'm sorry, Taz. You're making me think about something because
it's all good. That's what it's for. That's what it's for. Discussion.
That's all the triggers right now.
It's funny because he making me look at it from the kid's eyes, and he making me think about that conversation I had with my mom as a child. Like we were struggling, and I'm so innocent. I'm just like, Mom, can we do something different tomorrow? Like you feel me? And she's looking like we don't have an option, and I'm confused because I'm thinking it's optional. You get what I'm saying? I'm a child. I don't know. I'm tired of struggling. I want to do something different tomorrow. And she's like, we don't have a choice. You feel what I'm saying? That was powerful for me as a kid. That was strong because I was just so innocent. I'm just like, all right, I want to play a different game. And she's like, this ain't no game. You know what I mean?
Right,
so
this is the only game.
Yeah. And you have no choice but to
life.
play.
That's
I'm
it.
sorry. Go ahead.
It's the only game.
But listen, this is the whole point of this discussion, to keep talking back and forth, right?
That's right.
And you know me, I got to pull out a J. Cole quote or a Joe Budden quote.
Let's do it. What
but
you got?
There's beauty in the struggle too, right? Like, so me, like when I was younger, it's me and moms. It's just me and mom. So the first 5 years of my life, it's me and mom. Not to say we were alone. We had help from my grandma. I love her. God bless her. But there's meals that we had that I talk about to this day. Those are as a kid, they were normal. You look at it now, those are the struggle meals, right?
Right.
We were too, it's not that we were too broke. It was just we had to be cost effective with the money that we got.
That's it.
And hot dogs just happened to be everything, the kind of that was the only meat we had.
That's it.
Pasta and hot dogs.
Spam.
Spam.
You can prepare them hot dogs about 50 different ways, man.
Yeah,
I'm saying,
like
bro.
I
talk about this. I talk about this too because we were talking about gentrification, right?
Yeah.
I grew up on corned beef, right? That was a luxury meal because you could put corn, you could put French fries, you could put maduros, you can do what you want.
Anything, you know what I'm saying?
With a bowl of white rice, bro. That was it. And you want to know something? You were filled, you were good, you could change it up, you had your fun, right? And now back in the days when I had hair and I was wearing like a size 2 shoe, corned beef was like $1. Like it was like the can that's that big was like $1. But
cheaper
then
that maybe.
Yeah, it was cheap. My mom used to buy boatloads of that and tomato sauce.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, because people, that tastes good. I like that. How you make that? Oh yeah, that one can of fucking corned beef at one point was $8, bro. $8 to the point like we couldn't afford no more. Like, nah, we ain't eating corned beef. We wildin'. I could buy a family pack of steak with that now.
Word.
But they going back to the main point. As a father, and most of us can relate to that. It's just we're responsible for others' lives, and we never want them to experience that stuff. Unfortunately, I've been at a point where you know, I had to tell my daughter, hey, dad ain't got it. You know,
Right.
I was let's be real. I was unemployed for my daughter's birthday, and it broke my heart. And you know, my daughter, bless her, she's smart. She understands. She's like, Daddy, it's okay. Don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, as a dad, it's like, nah. And I'm a Taurus, so nah. So she knows it already. But she getting a nice $2,000 computer made by us. We're making it together. And you know, I wanted to show like, yeah, I didn't, you know, I wasn't able to do that, but I'm gonna show you that I live up to my word. And that's one thing. That's the most important thing I want to teach my kids. If you say you're gonna do something, do it.
That's
And
right.
if you can't do it, there's no harm in saying, listen, I can't do it. Own up to what you can and cannot do. Be
Accountability.
honest, be accountable, and be humble.
That's right.
Because people are quick to be like, man, that person's fake. Nah. I realize at this point in my life, I don't like to lie. There's no reason to lie. For what?
Right.
What's the point of lying? What's the benefit? That to me is like borrowing money and then borrowing money to pay that person that you borrowed the money in the first place for. You're just using something to supplement something else instead of just being direct and saying, yo,
I ain't got it.
I ain't got it, bro. Like, this ain't working. You know, and you know, it's something I never want my kids to do. And you know, I'm grateful that my kids are vocal. They can tell me what's wrong. They can tell me, you know, what's on their mind, and I want that. That's all I want. It's just, you know, that open honesty. So to piggy that to a fear, I don't want my kids to think that, you know, I never loved them or I never like appreciated them, or I never get. And the most important, that I never give them a voice. You know, I think kids have a little too much power nowadays because of people, but that's also parenting. Because
System.
not for anything, and I'm gonna big up my brother over here. One thing I always admired when I was growing up with Jay was that he could be up front and have conversations. He can have discourse with his parents, and you know, sometimes it went his way, sometimes it didn't. But the fact that you can have an open conversation with your parent, and you know, there's like no like destructive repercussions, that's beautiful. And that's what I want with my kids. And that's what I feel like we should all have with our kids, where we can have that. When a kid shuts down and doesn't want anything to do with you, that is fear, right?
Cool.
So, you know, to go back into like the movie aspect of that, when the kid spazzes out on Will that he wanted something, and Will's like, I ain't got it. The kid could have been like, yo, like you eat shit. Like, I'm done with you. And you know, like that hurts. That's fear. That's, no parent wants to go through that. No parent wants to experience that.
Right.
You know? And I'm happy, like in that movie, you start to see and again, it's a movie. It's not real. It's not 100% real life, but people can relate to certain aspects of it.
Absolutely.
And you know, like I'm happy that towards later on, the kids started getting it. Like, oh, we're not like everybody else. You know, we don't have our own home. We don't have this.
Right.
And then those extreme favors aren't, you know, extreme favors. And, you know, and for that movie for itself, you can see that Will did everything he could. Will did the best he could.
Yeah.
And you know, home is what the heart is and all that stuff, but we always want better. And my goal as a parent, I've told Jay this 1,000 times, I didn't have a bad childhood. I just want to give my childhood, my children a better one. And that's it.
No, that shit is real, man. It's real. Shit is
Vote
real,
for
bro.
Tez.
Respect all that.
Vote for Tez. That's right. We take it back to the first episode. Vote for Tez.
But if we could talk about this real quick, because we were talking about it before, the homelessness.
Yeah.
With the men, with men homeless. So everybody here knows where I work, for who I work for, and obviously I see lots of it. It's gonna be more in the seasons change.
Absolutely.
You know, New York City has a rampant homeless problem.
Yes.
And it's where this is another discussion in itself, but it's unfortunately budget cuts or using the funds to fund something else that belongs to that. Like Jay was talking about, like he was in an organization that has a bunch of organizations within themselves, but they got one set budget. So that organization get $1 million, but they got to have a mental health unit that gets a certain amount,
Divvy up the pie.
a health and hygiene unit that gets another. So all in all, yeah, it's great, but when you have too much, you got to spread it out.
Yeah.
You know, you can have a full sandwich, you know, like 6 slices of ham, three slices of cheese.
Right.
When you got the masses,
It's not enough.
You got to have a slice of ham and half a slice of cheese and one bread. That's it.
That's it.
You know, so it is that, and just like where I work, I see a lot of mental health, and that's the biggest problem when it comes to homelessness. Damn, Dre had to put the point down. No, but it's just like we as a society don't, and I say we because even though we don't run the government, we live with it. We don't speak enough about it. We don't make it. We don't want to look at it, right? And you know, Jay and I, and we've all had discussions before. Mental health is a very, very underlooked thing. You know, we all care about our teeth, we care about our skin, we care about our muscles and broken bones.
Right.
But homie, the brain. Look at Stephen Hawkins. My man couldn't walk. My man couldn't do much of anything. That was his only muscle that worked. The man was one of the smartest men alive. Now think about having that mindset with a full able body, what he could have done.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
That's a great point.
we overlook that. Because there's a platform for men. We need to promote that more. We need to promote, hey, if you're not feeling right, it's okay. You know, and that's the other thing too, is accepting the fact that we're not Superman all the time. We can't protect the world from everything. We can't protect everyone from everything that we love.
Oh yes.
We got to be humble. We got to be humble to ourselves. Like, yo, Jay, listen, you my guy. I can't move you this time, bro. I'm sorry. My back is killing me. You know, or you know, and like
you might not be able to save Padme.
Yeah, that's it. You know,
I'm saying.
Drunk over nothing.
But it's all about.
That's right, Dre. You know what I'm saying? My shit close by too, but go ahead.
It's all about, like, we as men need to start removing that stigma that mental health means you're crazy. No, because if you look at it, and these are sickening stats. We could pull it up. You could do this on Post Edit if you want to. You can put up the stats on suicides and all that stuff. It's mostly men.
Now we talking.
We're talking about mostly men, middle age. And it doesn't matter how successful you are. It doesn't matter how broke you are. Like, there's people out there, bro, they just don't have that comfort zone of being themselves or being vulnerable. Right. Or if they do, that person that they're vulnerable to weaponizes it.
Yeah.
And that is a problem.
I share that with you. It's like
that is a real
men are not
problem.
allowed to be vulnerable, and society doesn't look. Yeah. Yeah, that's my biggest look. Doesn't stretch their hand out to men and say, "Hey, I'm going to help." Society has today, because, like you said, now you have all these men who are homeless, or you have all these men who have mental health, and a lot of these men, will pick up a weapon, and because they're going through so much anxiety, will now, do harm people because that mental health aspect has not been, looked into. So every time, like, you see this when, let's say, like, there's this like mass shooting or something, right? And okay, no one actually says, I'm going to put X amount of dollars into mental health services or help you. If you're a man, there's this sense that you should be able to handle everything on your own, and that is the biggest problem that I feel like to say. First, they find out that it's a white man, and it's like, okay, The first thing is they said, we got to do something about mental health. It's just lip service. We're going to make sure we have these like male clinics that a man could just walk into anytime, no questions, and then talk to somebody, to help him, help get his life together or whatever. Like, we need to have services for men, young boys, period.
But real quick, to go with what you're saying, with the mental health, and this is where I see from when I was playing football.
These things are needed,
125th,
but we live in a society that says
125th
to
is
this
it's
day
a perfect example of
you're on your own.
what's wrong
And it's
with
gonna
homelessness.
take
What's wrong
shows
with
like
this place, right? So
advocating,
you're homeless, you're depressed, you
and
got nowhere to
trying to
go.
bring the
The
word
first thing
and
you
be like,
resort
look,
to is
drugs.
that needle.
Yeah.
You self-medicate. You self-medicate to get rid of that problem. Now that thing messes with your head. Now that thing, now you're combating an addiction,
Of course.
and you're increasing
Yes.
different beliefs and ideas that are formulating in your head because of these chemicals you put in your body. And you see it all the time. And in my job, I see it all the time.
Yeah.
You know, and it's heartbreaking. It's really heartbreaking when you see these young kids, and it's kids nowadays, man. I see
Yeah.
kids, 16, 17-year-old, knocked out.
Well, that's also because, and I want to head to our next topic soon because
Yeah,
we're almost
let's
at
do
an
it.
hour. But a
Right.
lot of that has to do with self-medicating becoming more and more popular. And so if it is more and more quote unquote acceptable to self-medicate, well, then you're not looking for meditation. You're not looking for a peer group. You're not looking for a therapist. You're looking like, fuck everybody on Man Cave. I'm going to go take these pills. Fuck everybody on Man Cave. I'm going to go drink this alcohol until I wake up next week. I don't even know what day it is. Yeah, whatever substance. I don't want to sound like we're promoting them, but that's the exact point. They're promoted so much, all the substances today, that it's like, all right, well, what can I do? Because the kids are not taught, hey, put your phone down. Let's sit at the table and have a family dinner where we can all talk about, hey, Tez, how was your day today? Hey, Days, how was your day today? Hey, Dre, how was your day today? And you guys turn around and say, oh, this is what happened in our day. How about you, Jay? How was your day today? That's not happening. There's no family dinners. Everybody's on devices. Nobody's talking. And so what do? I can't talk to mom. Mom won't put the phone down. Mom don't want me in the house. I'm not picking on moms. I'm giving an example. But if I can't talk to mom, can't talk to dad, grandma's in a long-term health facility, who I go to?
Right.
The phone?
Yeah.
The pills?
Yeah. And I know you want to move on. I just want 1 minute, and then that's it. It's like, and you're right.
Yeah, I want 1 minute after Jerry.
But it's like, yo, what do they turn to? And you got people we've discussed several pods ago, like a Steve Harvey saying, if you're a man, this is what you're supposed to be doing. And if I'm not living up to whatever that thing is, now I'm feeling even more depressed, right? Because we've made manhood this little small box that everybody's supposed to fall into. And if you fall out of that, then you're not really a man. You see what I'm saying? A lot of times they turn to the phones and the TikToks and the social medias, whatever. And this is why having a better discussion about vulnerabilities and fears, for me, is a better discussion, because manhood is not this tiny little box. It's a spectrum. You know what I mean? Everybody's different. So that's all I wanted to say. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, Tez, and then let's move on.
Yeah.
So what my other problem is too is you see a homeless person on the street, right? Or not even a homeless person who's hopped up on some, medication.
Substance, right?
We incarcerate them, right? They do some time, but are we doing anything with that? No, there's no real mental health therapy for them in jail. They just just make sure he's off of it and just treat. And this is society as a whole. We don't treat preventative care. We do symptom care, right? Oh, you got a cold? You got a cough? Here's your cough.
Take this. Yep.
That's it. And we're just putting Band-Aids on these big and open wounds. And it's like with the shootings and stuff, that's obviously that's a mental cry. And we don't really look into that. We're quick to blame the video games. We're quick to blame X, Y, and Z, except the real problem. And we don't. And if we do blame, we do nothing about it. And sadly, it's tragically that men get the stigma. And
not messing around.
Nobody does nothing about it.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
you are correct. Nah.
Damn.
That was foul. All right.
Squeam.
Let's move on. We spent a long time on that one. All right. So I hear a lot, very often, and I'm sure you all do too, about beauty standards in society. What are beauty standards? Well, the ladies got to have a lot of things. Society requires them to have their hair done, their makeup done, their nails done, the sexy outfits, the expensive shoes. There's a lot of things that women are upheld to in society. Not necessarily saying me, you, I'm saying society as a whole dictates if her hair ain't done, if certain things are not in place, she's not beautiful. She's not good looking. She's not worth our time. And so I just wonder, open question, what do you guys think about the beauty standards that women are held up to? I started last one. Somebody else can start this one.
I'll go. It's bullshit. It's honest bullshit.
Okay, tell us why.
For professional reasons, if a person is dressed up and looks the part, that's it, right? A guy can go to work like this, bro. I look rough, and it's fine. I'm always about the double standards. I said this in a couple episodes before, where guy can sleep with a million people. He's praised. Girl sleeps
He's the man.
Girl sleeps with a fraction of that.
She's a whore.
Exactly, right? I
like to say we're both the men, or we're both whores.
So if a guy goes to work looking a little choppy, this is cavernous look. We like the caveman look.
Right.
Shout out to the cave. But
I mean,
but if a girl goes, looking kind of rough, it's like, what's going on?
What's up with her mental health?
Maybe she had a bad day. Maybe she ain't with the shit. She just listen. You lucky I'm here. All right.
That's it.
We all interpret. I mean, a person's appearance doesn't affect their performance. I mean, directly, right? It's not going to change who they are. It can build confidence, which is what's supposed to be, right? The aesthetics create that confidence, that look good, feel good, play good, or other stuff good. But it's not a what was it? Like a defining characteristic, right? It's also the standards that we set. It's kind of like the pedestal that society puts beauty on it. And I'm not saying just women, just beauty in general. Men's got to have 20 fucking abs and pecs that fucking can bounce up and down, and girls got to have that perfect hourglass shape. That's society. That's media. That's people looking at Kim Kardashian like she's like the definition of woman. No. If it's for business use, I care about what you can do. Can you perform? Are you reliable? Then by all means, if you want to look like Roz from Monsters Inc., knock yourself out. Come in a bata. I don't give a fuck. Just work.
Okay. And what about outside of real quick before anybody else goes, what about outside of professional life? What about in your personal life?
I mean, outside,
or in their personal life.
In their personal life, if you feel good, then I'm a sweatpants kind of person. You give me sweatpants and loafers, I'm fine. I don't give a fuck. But I know I'm also real. Like if I'm trying to impress the opposite sex, I'm not gonna look all bummy. But at the end of the day, she also has to understand this is me. You gotta accept me at who I am. I ain't got no rollies. I ain't got no Lambos in the back.
And the ladies would ask, but do you accept her as who she is?
It's a two-way street. It has to be that way. For me,
society dictates otherwise. That's why I'm asking.
But
because you got to have the hair, the nails, the makeup, the eyebrows. All of these things. Your makeup got to be good. Your lip gloss is popping. If it's not, maybe you pass right by her.
I was having this discussion with my coworker the other day, and I told him, because girls, ladies have to go out of their way to do a lot of things. They have to do the nails. Because we were talking with a girl, she's like, "Oh, I gotta get my nails done. I gotta look good for my man." So I was like, "Well, you want to look good, not you have to." And she's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "You gotta I'm not telling you how to think, but I'm like, listen, I don't work that way. The confidence that's for you to build your own confidence within yourself, right? You can put the Cat Williams esteem of one motherfucking self.
It's called self-esteem,
bitch. Esteem
that's
of your
for you.
fucking self.
And that's for you. That's for you to feel good. At the end of the day, if I'm with you and we're already in the mud, homie, that's it. Like, I've seen you at your worst. I'm with you because I'm with you. You know, I don't care about the aesthetics. If we're going outside and yeah, we're going someplace nice, yeah, we both dress up. We both do it. But I'm not gonna fucking hold it against you. You comfortable? You good? All right, then let's go.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up that Cat Williams. Honestly, what he's really saying is real cats ain't worrying about what society say. Cats ain't worrying about that. You wearing peach and plum. I'm not fucking with you. Ain't no woman gonna look at you and care about your stretch marks. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if you're a real cat, that's not something that you even bothered by. My thing is like fuck society, man. Society, like real dudes ain't care about what society say. Society is corny to me. So I definitely have that same perspective where it's like you know, I'm not trying to I'm not trying to fit whatever society mold is. Look the way you want to look, like whatever makes you feel good. Just be yourself, dress the way you want to dress, make yourself comfortable. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, hey, I like the way I look. Now, if you look at yourself in the mirror and you say, I look like shit and I don't give a fuck, that's to me, I think that's a different conversation. That's the way you want to present yourself to the world, knock yourself out. But if get yourself ready and you like the way you look, hey, real women should just do. Yeah, what I'm saying is that they're trying to please this in this society thing or what they think society is telling them to do. My significant other appreciates when my toes are done. Wear this, dress in that, put this on, get this cut, trim this up. Like Tess is saying, no. You want to. I feel like women who think like that are, in my estimation, kind of low-minded. That's corny. Like, do things because you want to do them. Those people who have that confidence to just do what they want to do, they end up bending and shaping society. So a lot of times you can't necessarily go by what society says. Or if you are that type of person, I feel like you're just, like a dog chasing his own tail. You really don't have no real guidance.
I have questions.
Go
So
through.
would you fuck with a chick who looked like she got an afro for armpit hair? That's part of beauty standards.
I mean, if it was dope on her, why not? I have messed with girls who's like, yo, I don't shave. Now, if you say I don't shave and you stink,
No, yeah, that's a different conversation. I'm asking because the way you guys are shaping it is like this is a personal choice, and I don't fully disagree. But I don't think we could just act like it's choice and that's it. There's a lot of backlash and a lot of pressure from society when women don't do these things. Oh, you can. It's summertime. You got underarm hair out. Why would you be like that? Both from men and women, right? If you ain't women come outside, oh, but why your eyebrows look like they about to touch? What the fuck is that? But I can have a straight up unibrow, and it's cool. Anthony Davis, a basketball player, since college, he created a brand, The Brow. A woman could not come outside and be The Brow. Even the very famous Frida, who is famous for The Brow, it wasn't a good thing back then. And I don't think it's a good thing now, right? A woman has a lot of pressure to live up to this. They're taught it from a child. Girl, what you doing? You got to put this on. You got to put that on. You can't wear this. You can't wear that. You got to do. There's a lot of different things, and I feel like you guys are making it seem like those things don't exist. Legs shaved, armpit hair. There's a lot of different things that women have standards. I see both of y'all. Just give me 1 second. So I just want to, again, I don't disagree. It is a choice, but it's not that simple like y'all are making it seem. There's a lot of pressure from society way before there was a Kim Kardashian, like Tez mentioned, to be this very specific looking or behaving. Well, let's speak about looking because I said beauty standards, but looking up to par, quote unquote. Go ahead, Tez.
I disagree with that. I see it every day right now. Dove has a multi-million-dollar advertisement
Yes.
about women being themselves.
Yes.
About
Armpit.
you don't want to shave. You don't want to. It's pointed at arms, but it goes to everything else. You don't want to shave. You don't want to keep up with that. You are who you are, right? There is going to be society where she goes into a model, and we'll get into it in a second. She wants to be a model. She doesn't shave her pits. you know, those uppity people are going to be like, hey, we don't like that. You got to shave your pits. You got to, you got to do this. But it's always, now in society we're accepting that more. I dated someone and that was one of her concerns. Oh, I don't shave often. Okay, then that's up to you. At the end of the day, you smell good. Shout out to you. Um, but it's also it's about you. And now there are people with money who's changing the narrative, right? Ashley Graham, love her. That's one of my favorite models ever.
Same.
She should, according to some people, she should never be considered a model, right? She should never be there. But she changed the game. And what happened? One of the best-selling Sports Illustrated swimsuit covers ever, right?
Yes.
She built a name and an empire for herself of being different from the norm. And we as society hope to one day get rid of that. So there are strides. There are people being that are getting rid of that. Us not mentioning it doesn't mean that we don't think it doesn't exist. It's just I'm supportive of the movement.
Okay.
Hold on. And one last non. Metal Gear 2, when you play the game, you see Olga. She got the nasty boys. And a shout out to her. So it's been there for a while.
Okay. I only asked the questions. I'm gonna chime in at the end, but I asked the questions to give pushback because it does sound like we're all saying, yeah, it's simple, just don't listen. But there's a lot of standards, even from other women, who are like, yo, bitch, what you doing? Bitch, why you doing that? And us too, plenty of women that we beat and we like, yo, what's up with your legs right now? Like, your legs look like my legs.
But those standards we can't control, right? Both me and Dre are saying the same thing. If it was up to us, it's a non-factor.
Well, this is how we control it.
We can't control. I'm sorry.
I just seen this recently. This Instagram thing going around like, if you're a woman and you pass the age of 30, you need to learn how to do your makeup and go outside if you got an engagement with makeup on. I'm like, well, hold on. There's some women who feel they look very good without makeup. Maybe you might need tons of makeup when you go out, but some women, I know them personally, and they're really attractive, don't wear makeup. Maybe later on they will, who knows? But for this segment of their life, and I know a woman who's well into her 40s right now, she wore makeup like a couple of times in her 20s and was like, it wasn't for me. And now she's doing her thing as a professional, and she just doesn't wear makeup, and she looks absolutely gorgeous. She'll put lotion and all that other stuff on. She will not do makeup. So you got to live your life on what's comfortable for you. If you're the type of person that's like, I'm just going to do what society says because that's what society says to do, and that makes you comfortable, keep following society. But I would say explore within. A lot of times, as Tez just broke down, society starts following the people who rebelled against that. So let's go back to a time when none of us was around, called the 60s. In the 60s, there was something called the hippie movement. And at first, it was a fringe, weird movement. It was like these weird people over here at Oakland College or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Then it grew and it grew. And before you know it, you got people holding Pepsis, singing songs, and all the hippie paraphernalia, not 65, 67, 69, the summer of love. You got and cutting, not shaving, and everyone was doing it. Fast forward 5 years. So you get to like entire mosh pits or whatever of people just saying, yo, this is how we are. So this is my point. My point is that, and it might be anti-society, but so what? In 5 years, people might be following your trends.
That's called trend setting.
And that's what the outliers do. Go ahead,
and that
Dave.
path is not an easy path. You must expect a lot of critique, a lot of criticism, because like when you move based on a path like that, right? Like because people live based on society standards, they don't want to believe that you move based on individualism. And there's two types of individualism, but I'm just going to speak upon this particular type of individualism because there are people out there who march to the beat of their own drum. You understand what I'm saying? And like you said, Jay, it's not easy.
Yes.
You're going to be up against a lot of backlash because there's a lot of people who just does what society tells them to do, and they just like, what? You mean to tell me you don't wear makeup? Like the example Dre gave, that was like a nice sly way to bully people into doing what you want them to do. You feel what I'm saying? Like, oh, nah, if you don't, you 40 and you don't wear makeup, you need to grow up. Like, nah, don't try to bully me into doing what you want me to do. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's your standard. That's what you feel. That's what you believe. I do believe that, confidence is the key to conquer. I tell people all the time, like, confidence is like a superpower. You get what I'm saying? Like, you exercise it right.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? People they'll see you coming. They'll move out your way. You get what I'm saying? They'll be astounded by the sight of you. My father always says, like, people look at seduction as a form of like something sexual, but he's like, seduction could be something as simple. Just as you working on a project, you could be working on a bike and you could be moving so fluid in such a way that it's seductive. It captivates people. They just can't help but to watch you work,
right? Because
you make it look so effortless. And I think that's how some people live their life. You get what I'm saying? They rather go in a different direction. When it comes to beauty, I like, I like women who do what they see fit. You get what I'm saying? Like, for real, they do what they see fit. It's some that might wear makeup periodically. It's some that might not be into it at all. You get what I'm saying? And the ones that try it and stop is because they probably don't want to be dependable on it. And that's one thing that I like to point out. I think anything that, society tries to pull you into feeling like you quote unquote need, you now become dependable. You can't live without it. You can't go outside without it. You can't do this without it. You can't, we was talking about that earlier. Somebody was talking about smoking, and the person like, yo, man, I can't eat unless I smoke. I can't go to sleep unless I smoke. And it's like, bro, you've been sleeping for a large portion of your life. You've been eating for a large portion of your life before this thing became a factor. You do understand that, don't you? Right. But now you can't do this thing without it. So, that those things right there, with society starts setting these standards, man, I say, you have to be careful with those things because, like you said something earlier, it can consume you, and you saying, do we like it? You said what we think. Do we like it?
No, the question is, what do you think about the beauty standards that women are upheld to?
I think it's a lot of pressure. I think it's heavy. I think it's a lot of pressure. And some may not be able to shake it. Someone we're conditioned. It comes with a lot of conditions. A lot of these beauty standards come with a lot of conditions. Marketability. If you make somebody, you could actually affect their self-esteem. You'll have them chasing their self-esteem factor. They feel like they need these products and these things because it'll help boost their self-esteem instead of them focusing on boosting their self-esteem from within. You know what I mean? And of course, it helps society. It makes the big bucks. They got a whole fucking market for it, a whole system for it. You get what I'm saying? And not only that, they'll tell you that, your qualities and your features is not beautiful, but then somebody else will be buying them and putting them on them, and they'll be telling them how beautiful they look with it, but then they telling you how bad you look with it. So they'll have you chasing this false. Right. I think it's weird. It's kind of, I would say it's backwards. It's kind of backwards when you look at it. This world is backwards.
Okay. Speaking of needs, go ahead.
No, I'm saying it seems somewhat backwards.
I agree. I need to use the bathroom, so I'm going to pause for 2 seconds. If y'all want to chat, you can, and then I'll respond to the topic. Just give me 2 minutes. I'm muting my mic.
That's the first. This is hilarious. You said that you was teaching your kid, because I think that's important. Like, people don't understand the follow-up. It's like if you do say that you could do something and you want to keep your word and you can, there's nothing wrong with following up with that by saying, yo, I'm calling you, you're not answering the phone.
I tried.
You know what I'm saying? You say, hey, I'm at work, son. What's good? Like, that's one thing I hate, when you know what's up and you're like, hey, what's up? And I'm like, for real, son, what's up? You know what I mean? Like, I got to tell you. So I hit him back and was like, yo, hit me when you get out of work. I haven't heard from him since. You feel what I'm saying? But I ain't chasing you down,
Yeah.
man. You knew what the situation was. You feel what I'm saying? But it goes back to your point. Like,
Nah, I mean,
yo, listen, I couldn't do it. I got caught up. Shit happened. Boom. That's it.
it's all about being reliable here, right? Like, Jay's the nucleus to all of us, right? And if Jay says he's going to do something, 9 times out of 10, it's good as gold. It's like taking it to the bank. But he's also going to be real with you, like, yo, I'm not going to, I can't do it. I'm sorry. I tried. It is X, Y, and Z. I just can't, right? And that's fine. But there's people out there, yeah, I got you. And then, time comes, it's crunch time. Bro, it's like as if they borrowed like $1 million from you and they ducking. Like, my man, I just you said we were going to do something, let's do it. It's not hard to be, and this is where, like, I mean, I would love to put this on the show too, but because I don't think that this discussion is getting put there. But it's all about being held accountable, or like and this is where, like, we can bring the stereotypes back too. A man should always have a watch. You can't see my watch because of the green screen. There you go. A man should always have a watch, and a man should always keep his word, right? And I feel like we don't do that no more. We don't keep our words. We say what you want to hear, and then it's I'm sorry, it didn't work out. Just be accountable. Just be accountable. If you can't do it, that's it. I'm sorry.
And everything else, but
you see,
definitely be
see, I ain't lying.
Yeah, I got that too.
Facts.
I mean, I have a watch,
and
but I'm not saying.
And I'm gonna take it back because a certain somebody here always said you gotta have a pen. So I cheat the system. I see my phone got the pen. See.
Well, I don't know about the watch part because we all have phones right now. We got a bunch of devices that tell time for us, so that's probably a little outdated. But that's why I'm real slow with saying something. Like, a lot of times when Jay will throw the man for me, because I gotta be slow with it. I don't want to just be like, "Yep, I'll be there," and just react emotionally. I'm like, I don't want to say yes, because if I say yes, I want to be there. So give me a minute. Let me figure out what's going on. There might be a couple of things hanging. Come back to beauty standards like we was talking about, man. They
Eurocentric.
I don't. I mean, everybody got to go for what they go for, but
hemispheric, right? That's like
yeah. I was just out last night, man, and all these women with these like fake eyelashes, man, looking like big ass big birds and shit. These eyelashes is crazy. Like, who y'all wearing that for? You can't tell me men are just like, yo, man, them eyelashes is fucking dope. Like, we might be looking at ass and titties.
Sexy.
Men are not giving.
Like, blink for me again. Just blink for me again. Bet your eyes one time. Ooh.
Anyway, back to beauty standards. I think the beauty standards are fucked up. I think a lot of it, like Dave said, has to do with marketing and corporations. I do think, yes, there is a choice. I think there are outliers who are changing the game. And yes, Dre, the hippie movement is a great example. But they still are very strong. There are still very strong standards today that women are upheld to, yes, by other women, and yes, by men. There are plenty of men who say armpits are no good, legs on the hair, no good. Unibrow, no good. What'd you say, Days?
Legs on the hair.
Hair on the legs.
That's what I said. Yeah, hair on the legs. There's a lot of things.
No, you said legs on the hair.
I said it backwards. My bad. That's funny. I didn't even realize. You see?
So with mad confidence, though.
Mad legs on the hair. You feel what I'm saying? You got mad legs on your hair, son. Mad legs on your hair.
Shave those legs off.
That might be the name of the episode, son. Legs on the hair.
Jay said shave those legs off.
That's good. That's good right there. But I think today there's still a lot of fucked up shit that women are being held to. It's a lot has to do, like a lot of the things in this country, are tied to, you guessed it, corporatism. There are many corporations pushing these beauty standards. Dove may be saying the opposite today, like Tez said, but I think that's because Dove knows that these outliers exist. Years ago, that's not what Dove was selling. We all know all the catchy, maybe it's Maybelline, and all the rest of the cool phrases that come from these huge conglomerates that are pushing these narratives, these beauty standards. And so to answer
Right.
the question simply, I think it's fucked up. I don't think that women should be having to pay $5 extra for the same razor that I paid $3 for. Why my razor? We got the same razor. Why theirs is $8? Because society says her legs got to be shaven. So she needs it, quote unquote, more than I do. Well, then we can make more money because she, quote unquote, needs it. And so, yeah, I think
Correct.
it's messed up. You know, there's 8 million companies. I'm exaggerating, of course, but there's tons and tons of companies that sell makeup, you know, and even that, right? Up until very recently, a lot of people who shop with Fenty, for example, have applauded that Fenty has shades that look more natural for black and brown women. But for many years, that wasn't the case. You had to use the same blush as the woman with almost no pigmentation. It's not supposed to look like that. And so there has been a huge push, and there's still a huge push today, which Dre proved with that video he saw circulating. And so, yes, I agree. I think we all here know that I'm a very rebellious guy. In fact, I often tell women, you don't gotta wear that makeup. If you're doing that for me, girl, you could wash that right off. Yeah, that extension, that hair, those extra long hairs, your hair could be right here. We cool, whatever. You got a bob. If I like you, I like you. But you don't need any of that for me. So I express those things, but I think that we four guys having this conversation might help push along a different narrative. But I do think there's a huge narrative that dictates women must be held to these standards. And I think those standards are messed up. I think they're trash. I think that they shouldn't exist. And I think, yeah, more and more we see people pushing away from it. But I think there's still lots and lots of people, 85ers, as Dre said, who are still being held by the short hairs, pun intended, by these beauty standards. Because people don't always wax. That's not how we were born. Hey, I'm going to go wax my pubes because, you know, I was supposed to be that way. No, you wasn't supposed to be that way. That's not how it was supposed to go. But there's a big pressure, even in the sexual realm. It ties to beauty standards. You caress a woman's leg as you're trying to get things to the next level. You make the joke, damn, girl, I could have cut my finger with those hairs. That was crazy right there. And so I'm being silly with the last one, but they are still very real. They still exist. And I think it's good that we're able to come up here and express that all of us disagree with the standards and all of us are applauding and encouraging the outliers.
All right.
So that's that. You got a last piece?
Yeah, because
Okay, got it.
and maybe this is for our next show, but I feel like it's the same thing with the beauty standards for men. You know what I mean? It's like
There are no
there's-
beauty standards for men.
hold on.
Not in that way.
Let me say what I'm saying.
Okay.
And you're right. So what I'm saying is this sense of like you're a man, so it's okay to have your hairs all over the place and not shave and not do this and that. When a man might say, and I'm gonna take it to the extreme because some men are doing this, heterosexual men, where a heterosexual man might say, you know what? I think I want to put on some makeup. Niggas is like, what? But you a man. I remember coming up about 25 years ago. This is before everybody started doing it. Cats wasn't doing it at the time. But I would be the only dude in the nail spot getting my feet done, getting my nails done. And everyone called me every metrosexual name you can think of because that's what they was calling it back in the days. Oh, Dre, you're a metrosexual. No, I'm not.
And that was the nice way.
Right. You know what I'm saying? It was like all this was seen as something that was feminine. If I decided that, I don't like hairy pits, but you're a man, but I don't like them. So I shave them. I get, till this day, I get body waxes. I've been getting body waxes since 99. You know what I mean? This is before everybody else was doing it. I walk up to a wax spot and they'd be like, but you're a guy. Yeah, but this is what makes me comfortable. Now we at the point where a lot more men are like, now when I go to a nail salon, I see other men doing it, right? Like manscaping and shit like that. They got razors now just for men, just for men's private parts. But this was not the case 15, 20, 25 years ago. You see what I'm saying? So It's like me, I'm looking at it the other way too. It's like when a man says my looks matter to me, that's seen as a feminine thing. Your looks aren't supposed to matter to you. You know what I'm saying? Why do you have to go around looking so stylish? Why you got to go around wearing this and that? You know, like why does that matter to you? You're supposed to be a man. You're supposed to be rough and rugged. Even when like working out, right? It's like working out. I like to wear gloves. You know, a lot of men don't because they want to get those calluses on their hands and they feel like, well, you know, I have women tell me this, you know, men who have calluses and that makes them more manly. Well, I don't want calluses on my hands, so I wear gloves when I work out because I hate having those calluses. So this is the thing that we're constantly battling is this society that tells you you have this kind of genitalia, so therefore you need to look and act this way. I laugh at that shit because it's like, to me, that's low thinking. I do what I want to do. I don't care if it's in season. I don't care if society's doing it, not doing it. That's the thing has always made me me. And as Tez said, this is why we call them trendsetters, because people look at a person's confidence and be like, "Dang, I mean, this dude is like wearing this fly ass mink. That shit is hot as a motherfucker. He don't give a fuck." You know what I'm saying? I like that shit. You know, that's where I want to leave it at for me.
Okay, that's a good topic. We could dive in on that another episode. I want to hit this last topic that I purposely did not put on the list. I know we got 15, we got like 12 minutes. It's not going to take that long.
I thought it was ended.
Nah, I did it on purpose. I purposely didn't put the last one up there. And Tez kind of beat me to it, but I wanted to talk sports real quick. You know what I mean? This is Man Cave. You know, sports season is sparked. I was at 34th Street today, and man, there were a sea of Giants and Bills jersey in Penn Station. I'm like, man, this is a lot of jerseys right here. Jets. I'm sorry, Jets. I don't know why. Because they're going to Giants Stadium. My bad. I forget they share. I can't hear you.
Who you can't hear?
Tez.
Me. I
muted
myself.
Okay.
I just want to say something real quick.
Come on, yeah, talk about it. I see we got your big Eagles sign, so we know what you're repping.
I got the game up on one of my three monitors.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Rodgers got hurt in the first drive, bro. He's out. Yo, the fans are like this. Yo, they went, yeah, then this.
Man, feel sorry for the Jets. They was banking on that shit.
Hell yeah. And to be clear, basketball season starts soon. So that's why I said, we should just quickly have a chat about whether we're excited or not for sports.
The news right now is that he's there's nothing broken. The X-ray is a negative, but he has a cast, not a cast, but a splint on his foot. So
okay,
we'll see.
Right. Well, Eagles fan, since you sparked it, how do you feel that sports season is coming back around?
I mean, it's always sports. Remember, I'm Puerto Rican Dominican. We got baseball year round. Although my Yankees,
I wouldn't know anything about that. Sorry,
my Yankees are playing like shit. But
I love that shit. I love that response.
I mean, there's always sports, right? There's always sports. So,
well, two of the major ones in America are coming back. Season for football just started back this weekend for us recording, and basketball season is around the corner.
Some people are gonna like me after what I said was something else, but I'm happy that football's back. I got dragged out of retirement from fantasy football.
Okay.
So I unearthed the Cocaine Cowboys as a fantasy team right now. I need a good picture of a certain player. I'm not gonna throw him under the bus.
I was about to say, watch it now. Watch it.
If of a certain cowboy, happens to see this podcast,
right.
Keep your nose clean, bro. You don't
your nose out.
Right?
Yeah, I mean,
I know you're not working with Stephen A no more, but keep your nose clean. I feel great, man. I mean, it's great because it's just one. First and foremost, let's cut it down to brass tacks. It's something to talk about with people, right? It's something different. The season's exciting. There's always something new with the NFL itself, or sports in general. So there's always that. You got playoff baseball coming out soon. And of course you got hockey coming out, which that's my goal this winter is to go to a hockey game again.
All right, let me know.
We'll go because I'm going to your place. I'm not going to the Garden. The Garden's expensive.
All right, we talk about it. I'll talk about it on pod.
But I didn't say where you're at. Honestly, the Garden's expensive. But it's great. It's just honestly great. Fantasy, like I said, you got fantasy football and stuff. Basketball, listen, basketball died when Kobe died, bro. I just lost all interest.
Yikes.
When Kobe, I'm not gonna say that. When he
Damn.
was- I lost all
That
I
one hurt.
still can't believe he's going. I still
Yo,
can't
bro,
believe
no, me and my supervisor, bro, we talk about it all the time. We talk about all the stuff that Kobe did, and
that shit
first-
happened like that. He stopped playing and then he was gone.
facts. The first thing Kobe did was break my heart because of him, Eddie Jones got traded, and I loved Eddie Jones. That was my guy.
Oh, me too. Shout
That was
out,
my guy.
Me too.
So
Van Exel.
yes, I held Kobe to a high standard because of that. But bless the career that Kobe had, and bless his family, and my man's to me, he's my
That's
goat.
right.
I grew up
That's
with
right,
Jordan
Dre.
and stuff, but he's my goat. That's my greatest of all time.
I hear
Rest
that.
in peace for Kobe.
Well, I'm hyped
Word.
about all this AI talk because my guy's winning. I know that's random, but
Allen
I'm
Iverson.
hyped about all this, bruh. The AI, the whole AI, artificial intelligence AI situation. Oh, he's been breaking the bank off of that shit. I've been seeing mad little AI commercials, things here and there.
Oh,
You know,
nice.
shout out to him. Basketball Hall of Fame. He did it for D Wade. You feel what I'm saying?
That's cool.
Yeah, man. I'm always hyped about sports season, man, because I just want to see what's new, what's about to happen that's new, different.
Okay.
And LeBron James is still there. So you
That
feel
he
me?
is.
He one of them that's still around. Once he gone, then that era has passed. You feel what I'm saying?
I think he's gonna play until his son, because I think his son's gonna get drafted next year. So I wouldn't be
Yeah,
shocked.
he said that's what he wants.
I wouldn't be shocked if he leaves the Lakers to wherever his son goes.
Yeah.
Or he somehow convinces the Lakers, hey, trade everything in the next 17 years you got for my son.
Well, he said he wants to play against his son in the NBA.
Nah, he should play with his son. Take it, Kobe. You got to take it to Ken
That's
Griffey.
what he said, though.
Nah, you should be with Griffey, bro. When Griffey played with his dad, Griffey would tell you that's one of the best times he ever played baseball.
I hear that. Dre, what are your thoughts? You excited? You not excited?
Um,
I already saw you somewhere. I ain't gonna say where, but I saw you at a little something.
You can say it's all good. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Dre was at a preseason football game.
I was at the preseason of the Saints joint, man, and I had some good seats. I went for free, so I could never afford these seats. But I was
Those are the best seats.
Man, I was in the end zone, and then I didn't even know this. So the end zone has a whole VIP section, beers and free snacks, free. I was like, what? Y'all was holding out on regular cats all day. I can't even go to a regular game now. Nah, what? You done messed me up.
It up, right?
Can't go to a regular game. But let me just say this first and foremost. I don't see sports. I see sports the way I see any other form of entity. I don't put it higher. I don't put it lower. Right? I could get excited for the new Marvel movie coming out. It's entertainment. I can get excited for, certain sports or whatever. So I just see sports as entertainment, and it don't mean that much to me. By the time this airs, it'll probably be like a few weeks from the way they perform. But it's not. I'm not one of these cats.
It's only entertainment.
I'm sad. Yeah, it's only entertainment. I'm sad. I'm depressed. I can't. Come on, the way the Giants performed last night. I mean, that 40-0, that was garbage. That's disgusting. I watched it and I was horrified. You know what I mean? Ugh, wow. How you gonna start the season like that?
Jeez.
But my point is, it's entertainment. I laugh at it. I might have, some feelings about it for the moment, and then I walk away and live my life. So I'm not a sports fanatic, if you will. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. Oh my God!
Okay,
that's my. I don't get like that. I have fun. And I'm, if anybody knows me, I'm about a party. So it's like when I went to that Saints thing, it was like, yo, it's just gonna be a party, bro. Oh, okay, party. Okay, I'm going. You know what I mean? I'm down. You know what I'm saying? If you invite me over for to watch the game, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, if we cool cats, oh yeah, I'm going because we're gonna watch the game, but we're probably gonna pop some shit, say jokes,
right,
yell at the TV a little bit. That shit is fun to me, you know what I mean? So to me, it's just an extension of a party and fun and entertainment, and that's really it. So I'm not saying I'm not excited. I'm just saying that it's not like it's not super meaningful in my life. Like I could turn a game off and deal with something that I need to deal with. You know, I'm not gonna. I had a friend of mine, quick story, who got arrested, and when he was going through central booking, he was like, "Can I watch the game?" And I'm like, "Yo, son, you really you focus on the game right now, yo? You locked up." He's like, "Yeah, I know, but what's the score? Are we in the third quarter?
What's the score?
You know, it's crazy." So some people are really fanatics like that, where like the sports mean that much to them. You know, and when, for me, it's like, yeah, it's fun, but it don't have that much weight in my life, for period.
I dig it. I feel the same way. Sports is cool. It's an add-on. It's a plus. It's fun. Me and Days even spoke about going to a Big 3 game a while ago. I clearly just said to Tez, let me know if you're going to go to the hockey joint. But for me, I got too much shit going on in real life right now to be drooling over sports and worrying about who's winning and who's losing and going through central bookings asking for the score. You feel what I'm saying? I got too much other stuff going on. So honestly, the next time I watch football, it probably be when me and Tez are hanging, because me and Tez chill and watch football, or sometimes I watch basketball with Days. Plenty of times I've been hanging out with Days. He like, all right, son, I know you came over to write this verse, but the game is still on. I need about 20 more minutes. I'm like, all right, so we watching the game for the next 20 minutes. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's halftime? All right, then we're going to be here for the next half. Let me get comfortable. Let me get this pillow right here. And we're going to get comfortable watching the game. What? Oh, you said the nigga's injured? Oh, this is about to be a real crazy game. I should have got here earlier. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's a bonus. It is part of the camaraderie. And that's cool. But, man, I could care less who's winning, losing. I don't got a favorite team or nothing. I'm just like, oh, yeah. Oh, that's cool. And I'm so far removed from football specifically because of all the stuff that happened years ago with our guy, who still is not playing in the NFL for, I guess, a number of reasons today. But once all that shit happened with Kaepernick, I wasn't really watching football after that. Even Tez was like, son, this is an important game. You got to watch it. I'm like, man, I'm taking the kids to the park. Kids, get dressed. He could watch football. I'm out. So for me, I've been off football. And basketball, it was always something I watched with family and friends. I never was like a diehard person. But like I've had tickets to a game, and I mean we got a picture, me and Days at, up in a suite back in the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
At the Garden. That was dope.
Yeah, so for me, that it's a bonus, right? I agree with Dre. It's a bonus. It's something fun to do with your peoples, and for me, that's what it is. But man, I saw all those people at 34th Street. I said, I gotta ask the guys how they feel about all this sports stuff going on. So I figured, a little extra topic, and I knew the fear topic was gonna be deep. I figured we end on a light note.
Yeah. Let me just say this before the next person go. Jay, I really respected you during those days, man. And I tell other people about it. You didn't like, okay, I'm going to watch this one game and then that's it. Or I ain't watching the game, but I will watch the Super Bowl. You was like, yo, fuck the NFL. I'm not supporting y'all. Y'all treated my man like shit. And I understand him. And I'm done. And it was just like, that shit was closed. It was closed for you. You know what I mean? You're rare in that sense. I respected that all day. Like, I'm not fucking with the NFL. And you rocked that shit for mad years. You know what I'm saying? So I'll give a tip of my hat to you on that shit. Like,
thank you.
You know
I
what
appreciate
You're a man of your word. That means something to me.
Listen, if you don't stand for something, you fall for anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Shit.
Timber.
That's it.
Timber.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Timber. All right, I'm done here. Anybody else want to weigh in before we get out of here?
Shout out to my boy Freeway for that line.
That's right.
And shout out to my Eagles. Go Birds. It's a Philly mentality right now because my Yankees are out.
Well, I just hope the Jets get that victory. That's what you get for putting all your eggs in one fucking basket.
No, they're quite a whole new team for Aaron Rodgers. They just don't have a quarterback.
And
yeah, well, I would say I hope they win this game. You said that he got hurt as soon as it started, right?
It's 13-3 right now in favor of Buffalo.
Okay. There you have it.
And I want to say, shout out to other dudes who are like me, who are just bandwagon niggas. I don't give a fuck who win or lose. But they partying. They partying over there. I'm going over there. I'm going to go where the party is at. I'll put on anybody's jersey. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? Especially if it's free. Yeah, I'm the fair weather. I'm the fairest of the weather. Like, yo,
Yeah, I'm about to say, Audrey cares where the party at.
Exactly. I'm trying to.
Girls just want to know where the Bacardi at.
We party. They're the ones that won. I'm going over there now.
All right.
I just want to see a good game.
Right.
Where's my compass?
Where's my compass? You know what I'm saying? Fuck that.
Yeah, you
fuck them
probably
niggas
see
on
Dre-
the south side.
You probably see Dre on the video bouncing back and forth. They made a field goal. He like, oh shit, the beat.
He's like, oh, I'm over there.
We did it.
Going back over there. That's it.
Yeah, he probably gonna have more yards than the wide receiver and shit.
Facts. Who really ran 100 yards?
And I don't even, and a lot of times
Dre
in foreign I don't even know niggas' names. They be like, go quarterback.
Go quarterback. He didn't even come up with a name.
Go number 7.
Right.
Yeah.
2 minutes ago.
Right.
Man.
That's my dude.
I saw him Pee-wee football, bro. What you talking about?
Crazy.
You know, you be watching clips on YouTube. Look, I watched them Pee-wee football.
Wow.
Clips
Right.
on YouTube.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Man Cave Monday. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us. Fellas, thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me. And we will see y'all next month.